Welcome back to Southwest Yard and Garden. I'm John White. With me today is Teddy Peters, and Teddy is a master gardener here in Doñana County. Teddy, we got I guess one of our chores for the new year is looking at some of our tools that we've probably had in the storage or left outside maybe on the porch or something. And even though people may not think much of shovels and hoes and stuff, there are certain maintenance things that you need to do on tools to keep them good quality. And one of the things is a shovel does need to keep a certain sharpness to them. It doesn't have to be razor sharp, but it does need to have somewhat of an edge when you're pushing it down through the soil that doesn't have a real flat crown on it here. So if this is real flat, it makes it a little bit harder to push through the soil. So if we can take a file and just run it on the shovel on this side of it, and we're going to take any, if there's any kind of dings in the shovel, we want to smooth those out. So we're going to sharpen that down. And we want to leave this side smooth because this is the part that's going to slide through the dirt. So we want to keep this side smooth. So we're not going to do it on this side. We're just going to do it on that one side. And again, we don't need to make a real sharp cutting edge on it. So we want to do that. The other thing we want to do with tools, and we can see how we have some mud left on this. The mud, if it's actually still has some moisture on it, it can start to rust and corrode on the metal. And to keep your metal looking good, we want to take a lot of that off. So we can either just, break some of the mud off, get the chunky stuff off, and then we can use some steel wool to come in and take a lot of it off. It's a little bit of work, but it's worth the effort. And then if we'll take a little WD-40, we'll just give it a spray and work that in with the steel wool. That oil gives the shovel a little bit of an extra covering on it, so it keeps it from rusting, gives it a little extra protection, and you can wipe it down when you're through.
Good project for the guys to be doing.
Right. And here's a hoe, a weeder. This one we just chop at an angle to cut the weeds off. So it does need somewhat of a sharp angle on it. As you can see here, this tool does have a little bit of a taper on it already. And you can see a little rust on it. So we want to come in. And again, kind of give it a sharpened edge on it, because this one is a cutting blade, because when you're cutting the weeds with it, you do want to have somewhat of a sharp edge. So we want to taper it this way, but we don't want to do any filing on this edge of it. And it does not, again, have to be razor sharp, but you don't want just a flat edge on it because it's pretty hard to cut the weeds that way. And again, this one just needs to be cleaned up. We've got some rust started on it, and so if we can just kind of get it cleaned off, get any of the dirt on it off, and then again spray it with some WD-40. That'll help keep it good. As far as the wood handles on both these, this one you can see we put a little shellac on. This will help keep the wood a little better.
Oh, good idea.
If it gets weathered, the wood begins possibly to split. You can get some splinters in your
And
hands.
our hot, dry sun, boy.
So if you keep a little shellac on it, it helps to keep it much smoother and a lot easier to work with and less problem on your hands. Pruning tools. Some of our tools, like this one, does not have a replaceable blade, so if this really gets in bad shape, you just end up having to buy another pruner. But if the blade is beginning to get a little bit dull, we again can take a whetstone or a file, and we're going to just sharpen this taper there. We do not want to hit the inside of the blade because this one works with a scissor action, so this blade crosses over this bottom piece and cuts it off. So if we filed it on the inside, we're going to lose that connection right there, and you're going
Right.
to end up not getting a flat cut.
Right.
And of course, we don't want to do anything to this edge.
Right.
So we want to leave it as is, and that way it'll keep those tools
Good.
going a lot better.
That's really good
And
to
again,
know.
if they get gummed up with tree sap or rosin or anything, you've been cutting some pine trees, you might have some rosin in them. Again, you want to take a little WD-40 and your steel wool and just go over them real good and clean off all the dried plant sap that might be on there, and clean that off real good. And that way your tools will last a lot longer. If you've laid them down on the ground and maybe forgot them and they've rusted, then we want to clean all that rust off of them. So that's one way to keep your tools looking real good. So those are kind of some tips to if you're looking for something to do this winter, here's a few things you can do to get ready for the spring planting.
Yes, it's always a good idea, it seems, to have some steel wool handy and WD-40 near your tools.
Okay. Well, Teddy, thank you very much for being on Southwest Yard and Garden.
Thank you, too.